Hi students, this is Mr. Werman again. Today we're going to look at subtracting linear expressions. So we've been doing adding and linear expressions for the last couple of days. So today we'll get into subtracting them. We'll see it's, of course, very similar but slightly different. So we'll kind of learn those differences as well. All right, cool. So we will start here with one example of algebra tiles, and then we'll kind of move on from that. Sometimes it can be a little bit confusing when we're dealing with all these negative integers as well. Okay, so there we go. All right, so let's start with our first problem here. We have 4x plus 5. Okay, that's our linear expression, right? From that, we are subtracting, let's say, 2x plus 1. So the main concept is going to stay the same in that we are really kind of combining like terms. Um, this subtraction, we're subtracting everything into that parentheses, okay, not just the 2x. So let's do this by building our first term real quick. So we have 4x's, and then we should have a total of 5 ones. That would be 4x plus 5. Okay, and there we go. So we should have 4x's plus 5, 4x plus 5. All right, so if we are subtracting from that 2x plus 1, simple enough, we're just subtracting 2 of our x's, and we're subtracting 1. That's all we have to do. So we're left with a total of 2x plus 4, right? If we were to kind of line these up, we're really saying 4x minus 2x and 5 minus 1. Okay. Notice they were positive on the inside, but once we added that subtraction symbol, we had to make those all subtracted from our original term there. So again, our answer should be 2x plus 4. Okay. All right. Let's look at a couple other examples here. We'll slightly complicate things as we go. All right. So let's say 2x minus 3 minus x minus 2. Okay. Okay, so the first one is all positive. It's really easy to show that with the tiles. This gets a little more complicated, so we'll just keep it simple. All right. Like before, we're subtracting everything inside of here. Okay, so if we have 2x and we're subtracting x, right, we can kind of put those together if we want. We can think about it as like 2x minus the x. And then we really have our minus 3. And from that, we are subtracting a negative 2. Okay. So I kind of lined these up, 2x and the x, negative 3 and that negative 2. Okay. So again, there was the minus there and the subtraction there. So that really is like a minus negative, right? So we have two x's and we take away an x. Remember that invisible 1 is hidden right there. We don't write it, but I keep mentioning it in case we forget. But 2x, and you subtract one of those x's, we're left with just 1x, or better yet, let's just write it as x. Okay. From our 3, we have a minus negative, right? Remember a double negative, or we can think of it as a this symbol also means opposite. So the opposite of negative or the opposite of subtraction is really a plus positive. So it's really kind of like that. Negative 3 plus 2. So we have a negative 3 plus 2. Right, for 3 below 0, we go 2 more up. We're not quite at 0. We're still negative. So we have just a negative 1 left, right? So x minus 1 is our solution there. Okay, 1x minus 1. All right. Okay. Let's look at some more. All right, so if we say negative 2x minus 4, subtracting from that 2x plus 1. Okay. All right, so we have some negatives and positives. All right. remember this negative really, one way to think of it, how I like to think of it, is you're almost really distributing that to everything inside the parentheses, because everything inside there is going to really be the opposite sign, and then you're going to combine those terms, right? So if we have a negative 2x, and we're really, this negative out front, or this minus, we're really distributing it, right? So we have a negative 2x, and from that we are subtracting 2x, right? We kind of turn that to the opposite sign. And then we had our negative 4, and from that, we are now, instead of this positive, we have that minus out front, we're really saying minus 1. So we're really just kind of paying attention to our signs. That's probably the most important part here. Negative 2x minus 2x. So if you have negative 2 minus 2, we're left with a negative 4, right? And if we have a negative 4 or a minus 4, and you subtract 1 from that, right? Again, negative minus, the same thing. So you have a negative 4 or a minus 4. We subtract 1. We're now at a negative 5. So simple enough. We have negative 4 minus 1 being a negative 5. Or you could say negative 4x minus 5. All right. So look at one or two more here. Hopefully we're getting it. All right, again, we have negative 4x minus 7. From that, we are subtracting the quantity of negative 5x minus 2. Okay, again, lots of minuses there. Minuses everywhere. Okay. All right, so you can see the whole thing there. All right, great. So like before, we're really kind of, you can think about that as distributing that negative to everything inside the parentheses. We're kind of making everything in that side their opposite, right? So negative 4x, and then we really have this minus minus, okay? So we can automatically make that a plus if we want, or we could do it like this and make it into a plus over 2 steps. That's fine. Negative, negative, minus, minus, the 5x, and then we have our minus 7, and we have the minus and the minus there. So it's kind of like a double minus 2, okay? Again, remember the opposite. The symbol means opposite. It means negative. It means subtraction. So the opposite of subtraction is addition, or I could say the opposite of a negative is a positive. Either way, when you have these double negatives together, they become plus positives, right? Okay. So really we have negative 4x plus 5x, okay? And if you want to, once you do this a couple times, jump right to just plus 5x. That's probably better. But if you want to still write it out the longer way, we can do that. So we have negative 4x plus 5x, okay? Again, we're at negative 4. You add 5. We're now positive. We're at positive 1x, or just x, we'll write. All right. And then we have a negative 7 plus 2. So we're at 7 below. We add 2. We're still in the negatives. Negative 7 plus 2, we end up with a 5. X minus 5. Okay. Let's try one more example. If you think you got it at this point and you're ready to move on, go ahead. If you want one more example, I will do just that. Okay, let's see here. Let's say 4x minus 3 minus 2x minus 7. Okay, great. So again, kind of distributing that negative or that minus. So really, and we'll also combine our like terms. So we have 4x, and really from that we're subtracting 2x's. And then we have our negative 3 or our minus 3, and this double negative, 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 opposite of subtraction. Think about it either way. Really is going to be a positive. So I'll go ahead and write it out there in our 2-step. If you're ready to just write a plus, that's probably the better way to go. But I'll do it one more step longer. So we have 4x minus 2x, and we have our negative 3 minus a negative 7. So I'll go ahead and rewrite that. 4x minus 2x minus 3 plus 7. Okay. So 4x minus 2x, we're left with 2x's. And then we have a minus 3 plus 7. Again, you think negatives, go positive, or really finding the difference of those two numbers. It's going to end up as a positive because the larger number is positive, 2x plus 4. Okay? So again, for this, the big idea, we're really kind of distributing that negative to everything inside there, kind of making it the opposite signs. So if it was addition, we're now subtracting. If it was a negative or subtracting, we are now adding that number. Okay, and we combine our like terms just like before, and simplify as far as we can go. So then, of course, remember x and 4 are different terms. So that's as simplified as we can go for all these. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully that was helpful, and you're ready to move on and try it yourself. Just pay attention to your signs. Be very careful with that, and you'll do just fine. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.